Don't be good, yo.
What's up, guys? This is the Blueberries Podcast. I think it's episode 9. DG's back, like I said, so we're in the house
Glad to be
here.
back.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna be, of course, talking about the Steelers, the Steel Curtain sessions, which we're gonna be branching off a little bit, possibly in the next however long. Of course, throughout the Steelers season, it'll probably be pretty prone to that, and obviously football. But if we continue up, so we don't want to just stop, and obviously there will be off-season coverage. But we might do some other stuff, guys. I'm not gonna go into detail on what that is, but a little out of football realm, not entirely. Maybe stay in football. I don't know. We're gonna do some stuff, but um, obviously it'll be related to sports in some way. Like we're not just gonna go fully off topic, but yeah. Um, but yeah, we're back. Of course, we're gonna be covering the Patriots game that we just had, and we're gonna be doing a preview for the Vikings game coming up, which is at 9:30 in Ireland. I know a couple people that are going or know of them, and I'm jealous a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, that'll be fun. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, real early game. But right now, we're just gonna hop into the pats. Just what you want to break the ice with your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I want to start with the defense, and this is I'm a rant. This is like a tad bit, but when I talk about and it's not his fault. So I don't want. Well, I'm going to say I don't want people to take it like he's been playing bad, but I talk about paying T.J. Watt, and he's the best at what he does. But it's like we pay these guys all this money, and our defense as a whole still suffers.
Yeah,
And not saying TJ Watt's to blame, but there's just times where it's our defense as a whole, and I'll get into that. But just starting off here, I just feel like TJ he's just so boom or bust sometimes. Like it's a big play, or he's open up a run lane, or it's a big play, or he's open up a run lane for a quarterback outside to run outside of him and break contain. Like some things I think is designed, and then there's some things where I think him having to live up to the money we paid him. Like sometimes it puts our defense in bad position, but he's really the least of our concerns. I was just throwing that out there. But our D line, our linebacker depth being tested, just as a whole, we're just not.
sound.
Yeah, I mean, I understand we have Deshaun Elliott out. I understand we have Jody Porter out. I'm aware of those things, but we look so bad right now. And if you're taking the Steelers for fantasy, I mean, we don't look too bad. You know what I mean? We're still putting up like 15 points, but when you're watching the game, it's like, what's going on? Terrell Austin.
Yeah,
It's the same thing every year. Like you get the guys and you try to make the guys fit this scheme that's just it's a bad scheme.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
I like what I seen from Derek Harmon in the Spurs that we played him. I see a lot of promise there. Um, YA I haven't been too impressed with, you know, um, but he's a rookie and we are, and I think me and Deck were both right in the sense of saying where we lack the most defensive line and linebacker core right now, and I think defensive line is being tested early. It's being tested early in the season, and right now we're not living up to what we thought our defense would be, stopping the run,
Nah.
consistently getting after the quarterback. Which we still get after the quarterback. We still make splash plays sometimes. That's one thing our defense will always do. I feel like is make some splash plays, but it's not consistent enough.
It's not enough.
It's not.
And it's splash as compared to just playing sound defense is cool at times depending on the game, but you just can't build a defense around only splash. Everyone knows that, but you can keep going, my bad, unless you.
No, I want to go back and forth.
Yeah, I'm not impressed at all with our defense. I am I'm not trying to find a scapegoat as much as I was wrong. Or well, one of my our D line has to play better for our linebackers to play better, but I was very wrong in terms of thinking Peyton Wilson was going to hit the ground running. I still think he's a good player. Still think he's going to get better and progress. This is his second year, but he's he's a lightweight, man. I ain't gonna lie. He needs to get some pounds on there. He needs to be able to take on blocks. The problem is though, you got two elite coverage guys that are good at running around blocks, but you don't have the D line ensuring that guys aren't coming right out at them. You know, you play linebacker, you just watch football as a whole. If the guard is taking off on you in your read step, the guard's in your face, it's probably not, unless you're Ray Lewis, it probably isn't going to look too good. You know, there's other styles, but we have two similar style guys. I mean, Patrick Queen, a little bit heavier, obviously, but I just think they run around their sideline to sideline guys. And in order for them to be elite linebackers, we have to be an elite defensive line. And that's all defenses for the most part. But in this one particularly, you're not going to have this huge guy. I mean, Cole Holcomb, shout out to him. He's filling in.
He played good.
He did play good, and I already knew like he was a good player. It's just I was worried about coming off injury, but you know when he was at the Commanders, I guess I think he was there when they were the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty solid for them. You know, injuries been kind of striking him his whole career, but I like that he played 50% of the snaps. I think, or no, think it was like 48% Peyton Wilson, 52 Cole Holcomb. So he got the little edge there. He's a veteran. We expect him to know more than Peyton at this point, and he's been in more football games, and that's experience is everything in this league. But to kind of drift off overall to that game, it's like, yeah, I'm tired of it. The schematics are the same every year. Terrell Austin is not worthy right now of being our coordinator. I'm not saying he's a horrible coach. I want him to find the light elsewhere. But right now, the sense of urgency we're displaying in terms of what we were displaying in the off season was misleading because okay, we got all these new faces, but we got the same schematics. And yeah, you want these guys to gel in. You want the defensive guys like Ramsey, even though he's an All Pro, Hall of Fame guy. You ideally you want him to gel in. You're still going to give him time. All right now, but that's not an entire excuse for leaving these middle of the fields open, of course, and then the run game is god awful. So defensively, I'm not too hyped. I mean, holding them to 14 points this week isn't a bad thing, but a lot of that was fluky. Like these teams,
they could have scored at the 1 or inside the 5 2 times.
Yeah, so I mean, you play the Bills, you play the Ravens, you play the Lions. You're getting cooked with that defensive approach.
Oh my! And that's what I wanted to see early was I know it's still early and I will shed light on the things that I do like from these past few games because I don't think it's all bad. We are 2-1. See, I think, but it's the same story, and I think I touched on like um, sometimes I think I would rather us be 1-2, but us look the part.
I was just talking to my dad about that.
Yeah,
we should more be than that. Technically,
yeah, more than us being 2-1.
Plays away from being 2.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Don't get it wrong. As a fan, I'm grateful that we still find ways to somehow beat the odds and win these games, but it's the stability, it's longevity.
Yeah.
The season, like we know how the story ends. We've seen it so many times where it's like, man, I just want to see a different approach. But I do want to shed light too. I'm gonna be a little bit all over the place with my taste because I wasn't here last week and there are some things I want to get out there. So I apologize in advance. But I like that, and I feel like in the red zone we're capitalizing a little bit more. Um, I think that's a positive because that's probably why we're able to win some of these games. We are turning, red zone possessions into touchdowns. We honestly haven't seen Boswell too much, and that's not and it's good, but it's kind of that rest field where we're driving to score or it's a 3-and-out or a bad play from the line or wherever the case is, we get knocked off our track.
Not to cut you off,
Mm-hmm.
biggest highlight I've said, biggest light spot right now for me, the statistic we've scored on the first drive every game, all 3 games, which that was not a last year thing. I don't even think that was the last 5 years to be honest.
Yeah, I think
that's a back off, but that was wonderful to see. That was wonderful, and I like Aaron right now. By the way, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not too mad at him. I mean, like I still wonder, how he'll fare throughout the rest of the season. Just I feel like he is taking a lot of hits early, and our line does have to protect him better. Someone else I'm just super impressed with, who I want to walk back everything I said, is Jalen Warren. I think he looks like a legit like RB1. Like things that he's doing, like he's it's people want to talk about. Oh well, he only had rush for 2 attempts. You got to understand the line. I could see why he's rushing for what he's rushing for against the Patriots. It's not him. It's not because of him. It's not the lack of what he's doing. It's more so he's breaking off 9 tackles just to get 2 yards.
Yeah,
a little bit exaggerated.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so
JU sent me something that said, our boy JU sent me something that said he has, I think he leads the league right now in missed tackles, like making someone miss.
I saw that.
And something else, a category to do with yards or something. I mean, he's getting busy.
He's an animal. I mean, he's versatile. I like what I've seen from Gainwell. I think he's looked kind of what I expected him to look. I'm very disappointed with Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, he got time to revive.
I do. I mean, he's a rookie. I'll give him slack, but I think it's a when I look at him now, like I feel like he had so much aura when we got him from the draft. Not to he's a grown man, but I'm saying like now I just don't see a confidence level that I would like to see from him, and that could be due from that him not being not necessarily maybe being the third running back, wherever the case is, but I still want to see him compete to where try to get on that field, try to make an impact. Don't let with that little mistake,
Which Tomlin in his presser did say, regarding that play that he had, that he's still very confident in his attributes, his talents.
Yeah.
He said he's not out forever, like in terms of like, yeah, he's getting a slap on the wrist right now. But I think it's communicated every day probably in that locker room, like, hey, you're still our guy. Like we still want you to, obviously we drafted you.
I'm kind of feeling
like not his time's coming.
You think you believe so? I hope so. But right now, I mean, it's still early, so I can walk back what I'm going to say. But we passed on Cam Scatterboot.
Yeah,
man, the way he's looking right now is
I
like.
Would rather have him. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like that was a miss, but
he's a dog.
I was excited when we got Caleb, so I'm not gonna act like it's early. I mean, look at Caleb Williams. He had a great game last game. People wrote him off. I was low key one of those people. So
I've liked Caleb the whole time because I feel like when you're drafted to the Bears, you got to give him grace, which he does.
I think I had a personal resentment towards the Bears only because of the way they talked down on Fields for him struggling early, but. You know what I mean? So I kind of.
He should still be their quarterback too.
Yeah, so I feel like, I'm not saying they did him dirty a little bit. I feel like in the same system, he would probably be one of the better quarterbacks right now if Chicago kept him. But that's the Chicago Bears.
I actually have a wild Justin Fields taking a little bit too. People might hate me for this.
You go, man.
We'll go for it.
Let's go for it now.
I'm happy with Aaron. Better than Fields. I'm happy with Aaron over Russ, Aaron over Fields. Russ is obviously getting benched for Jackson Dart, which I have a good feeling about Jackson Dart. I was up and down with him in the draft. I said he had a slow release, but I think he's going to be a dog. honestly, the Giants are a team that I would like to watch because I was also down on
Defense is
Scatterboo.
there. Their defense is there.
Yeah, and their offense. I mean, they have weapons. Scatterboo, I was kind of. I mean, mostly their receiver. Freaking what's their receivers? Nate Malik Neighbors, dog
I think they're in better position than us.
for sure.
I think that's off topic a little bit, but I'm gonna let you
No,
go
you're
back
good.
in. But what I wanted to say is like
They're in better
with the
position.
Giants, I can at least I can see their foundation now.
Oh yeah,
Like I think when you look at them, you can see their young core and what they're going to be. Kind of like you could kind of see with the Lions too when they started to change things around, get arm around, you know. So with the Steelers, I struggle. I struggle to see like I look at Calvin Austin. I'm like,
wide
is he going to be with us in the future? I'm not sure. Um, we know DK will be there. Um, Roman Wilson, even it's super early, but Caleb Johnson, like Will Howard, all these guys that we picked up, like we're kind of looking like, where's our foundation at? We got
like I said, we haven't had a good draft pick in a while. Like you got
yeah.
good ones, but I'm talking about a
I'm
big
liking
impact.
Tanu. I want to shed light on him too. I think he's been holding his own early in the season. Um, he's looking about as what I expected him to when the season started. So
Right. I'm gonna get over the point I had real quick. It's not saying that I would rather Fields over Aaron. Of course, you want the Hall of Famer. Of course, you want the guy that slings like he does and has the mind. Like I feel comfortable. The last time I felt comfortable at quarterback, and when I say comfortable, I'm talking. I'll watch the play. I'll watch the receivers' routes, and I'll watch all this rather than looking right to the pocket because I was scared in the pocket. With Russ, I was always looking at him like, "Oh my God, he's gonna get killed." I've never felt this comfortable since Seven, a couple years before he ended his career. Seven had that comfortability, regardless if you like him or don't. I'm not the biggest fan of him as a person, which I can't fully say that though because I never met him. Like I don't like judging people by stories I've heard. But greatest quarterback we've had, stamped. He's a great quarterback. Um, but when I go into comfortability, yeah, Aaron. But in terms of personnel, I think I'm not recycling this exact thought. But Aaron needs a number two, and I've expressed this issue, and of course it's come to fruition a little bit because Calvin Austin. I think we have bad taste in our mouths because of that mess up that should have been a touchdown for Muth or him if he
you
would
know
have just
what,
caught it.
Kyle, I want to say it. I think Calvin would definitely be a great wide receiver three. Like I mean, a great one. Like
No, I agree. He's the best
but
wide receiver three. That would be his best.
against New York, he showed me something. He was MIA against the Seahawks, and he was pretty much MIA the whole game against the Patriots, other than the touchdown catch. So, like just piggybacking off that, I do think we still you could tell we still need a wide receiver too. But I think Calvin Austin is growing into being solid. Like I don't
I
know,
agree.
I don't know what his ceiling is, but
I agree.
I think he makes nice contested catches. It's just it's like he's kind of like Fryermuth to me. Like we don't use him enough. Like there's so much plays I feel like we leave off the field.
Mm-hmm.
We sometimes we our schematics doesn't make sense. We need a scheme for some of our players. You know, we got DK, get him
Yeah,
the ball.
that's kind of
Find
what I'm
ways to
getting
get
into
him the
too with
ball.
Aaron. Is like sorry, not to cut you off,
No, you're
but
good.
I'll just get this point out because it's a weird point. But Aaron Rodgers is like, he needs a wide receiver too. He's the type of guy like that's how he plays. I'm not saying he can't make people around him better, and he has faith in Calvin. I know that Calvin just to me is like elite wide receiver three.
Yeah.
Wide receiver two is his peak. Like I said, I've been saying this, but right now he's just not at that point. And if they didn't draft all these older vets and these gold jackets, then I would be like, hey, he's a great piece to have going forward. But the fact that we're like a go it for it now type of team, mostly on D, I mean, and O with Aaron Rodgers just period in your building, I would have honestly rather kept Fields with this matchup. And I know it's crazy, but this is what I'm gonna say. You got Johnny Smith, you got Pat Fairmouth, that's big boy ball. You got DK, that's big boy ball.
Yeah.
You got big boys that if you have a mobile quarterback that runs around and throws little cute in the middle of the field passes to these big
Oh my
guys,
yeah.
there would just be a different flow of the team. Am I saying Rodgers isn't the better quarterback? No. But if this is what our approach is, should have just kept Justin Fields.
Ceiling's way higher would have been way higher with them because you could just tell like he said how physical, you know, having Warren, what he's been able to do early in the season, like that type of that's
RPO that.
that's a run there that people would not want to have wanted to see.
If you know football a little bit, I'm not saying I know a lot. I don't. But if you know football, you know why we're saying Justin Fields probably would have been better with this personnel group. It's not because Aaron Rodgers isn't so much better than him. It's just because on paper, you're playing bully ball. It's good to have that guy.
Yeah, he's restricted. I mean, it's deeper than that too. Like, I mean, when Aaron Rodgers is back there, you're not worried about him as a run threat. You're keying in on Jalen Warren. We put him to the side part, so it's much easier to key in on him and understand where he's going to go. So,
which we offered him. So maybe this was our idea all along.
mm-hmm.
We offered him a contract.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they missed, like they fully missed. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Aaron. Like I said, I'm more comfortable with him.
I think Aaron's clutch. I think he's doing what I expected him to do. You know, I do think he puts the ball harm's way like twice a game. But
You don't do that.
yeah, but he's actually not a big turnover guy. Like throughout his career, he hasn't been known for turnovers. So I think he needs to work on that. But he's a little bit better than what I feel like Russ was in terms of like the flow. Like I think we just need to let him cook a little bit more. Like
that's what we were saying about Russ too.
But Russ is different because I feel like Russ, like, and he's showing it even on the Giants. Like Russ is boomer bust, and he's kind of always been his whole career. Like with
Russell's
he's
great.
He's either hitting the deep ball or he's all game or he's not hitting the deep ball at all. He doesn't really use his checkdowns. With A-Rod, I feel like we're restricting him a little bit. Like we're not using the middle of the field the way we should.
No.
He did throw a pick in the middle of the field last week, but I mean, he's a veteran quarterback. Why do we have restrictions on him?
We're good. We can still use it. My bad.
Yeah.
Yo, say something.
Yo.
I think we're back. We're back. All right, my bad. We'll cut that. We'll cut that.
All right. Well, like I was saying, I don't really see us use like DK coming across the middle of the field. I've seen a lot of quick game with DK. I don't know if we're like reserving play. I don't know what we're doing, but I feel like we're just not using even John. Like you can see the potential with John. You can see the potential with our tight ends. We just don't. I feel like we don't insert our playmakers enough.
Yeah, I mean,
still predictable on offense. It's still whatever we do on first down, we're doing the opposite on second down. It's just nothing surprising. Like no creativity. I watched the Lions versus the Ravens, and you see so much creativity with what the Lions want to do, and they're similar to us in terms of like, well, I don't want to. Their approach is similar to us. They want to be physical with you, but that doesn't make them shy away from being creative.
No, they got great offensive coaches.
Yeah, I mean, what are we? What I don't understand. It's frustrating. It really is. You know, I know it might be a little exaggerating, but I'm getting tired. Like I'm getting tired of Tomlin. I'm getting tired of the coordinators.
I was saying last episode, like I'm done with Tomlin right now.
Man, it's the same thing. Like when is something going to change?
Yeah, I mean he's a great coach. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, I
don't care that we're 2-1.
We need it now. I would rather be.
I want to look like we could compete.
A better look, honestly. I'd rather be.
The Ravens feel better
like the Chiefs.
The Ravens feel better than us right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Even going into playing the Chiefs, they feel better than us at 2-1 going into play the Vikings because they understand and they know, hey, we're blowing these games. You know, the way they're losing is fixable, but the way we're losing is fixable as well. But man, it's so much more things that we need to work on compared to when we look at the Ravens. Like it's very minimal things that.
Lamar looks great as usual.
Yeah.
Schematically, we're lacking. I mean, good teams grind it out. They figure out a way to win, such as the Chiefs last year. I mean, they got all the way to the Super Bowl when they were playing 1-point games most of the year. If we have better schematics, then it would be different. If the middle of the field wasn't open 24/7, then it would be one thing. That's why I was just talking to my dad, and it's like, man, I don't care if we win. Like D also agrees. I want to see these things get better. So like middle of the field would be my first thing, and then I mean honestly,
if you're not going to acquire wide receiver two, which Olave is apparently a trade possibility, I'm tired of hearing that. And then Tyreek Hill, which that ain't gonna happen. I don't think there's anybody else, but other than that, like I'm not thinking about acquiring a talent because right now we're not setting the personnel we have in the house for we're not setting them up for success.
Right.
So adding another person to me isn't the fix.
No.
The fix is do I like Arthur Smith? Yes, but you got to use your
Yeah,
personnel.
we
Man. You
wouldn't
got to
know
be
what to
creative,
do
like
with
he
Tyreek
said.
Smith.
Tyreek Hill,
Me,
yeah.
Tyreek Hill. We
No.
wouldn't know what to do with any wide receiver two right now. We barely know what we're doing.
He'd be doing track. He'd be running across the field doing random stuff
Yeah.
while DK gets open because of it, but he wouldn't even be properly utilized at all now.
Yeah, at all.
Just like if I was a player right now in college, and this is even quarterback because they haven't done well. Like they haven't done well developing that position as a whole. I mean, of course, Ben, but since then, even if you talk about a Mitch Trubisky, a young guy, Justin Fields, a young guy, yeah, it wasn't their first team, but like we haven't done good getting them into the mix like that. But what I'm saying is, if I'm a college player, I'm a top player, and mostly offense, I would not want to go to the Steelers, bro. I would not. I mean, you see like Chase Claypool, George Pickens, like they have their own problems, but they rookie years, both of them are great, and obviously George had better than Claypool in terms of progressing. But I don't know, like our receivers are starting to die out. Like when they come, they go real quick. Running back wise, you got Najee, who's very reliable. We're missing him right now, by the way, which I'll get to that point.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of recycling this from the fan a bit. I listen to a lot of 93.7, but as soon as I've been a Najee fan, we should still have him, in my opinion. Um, but to go off what they said, basically, like there's something we're missing in that running back room. Sounds crazy
I don't
because Jalen Warren's great.
I don't think so. And I'm gonna disagree with you, but I do want to hear your point. Um, but I don't think so. Only because for me, I don't think it's that we lack in the run game. I think it's just when we choose to run the ball. Like it's when we want to run the ball, it's obvious run downs, or it's always on first down. Like it's just there's never a when we get into the flow. I think that's when we start to see us rip off runs. I feel like up to this point we've seen a lot more explosive runs than I'm accustomed to seeing too
I agree.
in the past.
And that's kind of the opposite of what I'm saying, but not in a bad way.
I think what Najee gave us, like more than anything, and it's undervalued, is just like his availability. He ran hard. He brought a physical aspect to the game
That's what I'm
to
getting.
where
Yeah.
teams didn't want to just run and hit Najee. I think Warren brings that, but obviously, like he's just not as
It's just
physically
different.
imposing. But
Yeah. Which I still
don't think
want
we need-
Warren RB1. Like I ain't saying we're missing Warren. Warren's playing great.
Mhm.
We need a bruiser. Kenny Gainwell's great. Like I like his scat back stuff. Caleb Johnson, I wanted to be this bruiser, and that's why we're missing it. Now, obviously, he's a little bit more agile. I would have rather the Scatterbo, like you said, because yeah, he's more of a blocking guy, but we need a guy that's kind of like getting the rough and tough yards.
Yeah,
And of course, Warren can get that, but we need Najee would be great on this team for the fact that there's certain downs that I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, Warren isn't a hit or miss. Like he's not just getting tackled in the backfield. He's gonna try to make something happen. But we need that guy that's annoying to tackle. And
I don't know. Honestly, like for me, like I feel like when we do need a yard, I feel like Warren picks it up. I feel like he gets straight in the hole, he picks it up. I do feel like sometimes, he is like a home run hitter type of running back. With Najee, I feel like I've seen so many times with Najee in the past where we was in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and he just got stuck.
I guess I'm more or less saying. So we talked about earlier. We alluded to the fact that you have a non-mobile quarterback, so it's predictable in terms of who you know is going to get the ball.
Yeah.
Kenny G, I'm not really too worried as a team if you're giving it to him in the interior. Like if you hand it off inside, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not saying he can't do something. He's good. He's skilled. I'm more or less mean like you need that second runner. And when I say that, it's not somebody that's too crazy looking, too cute. And of course, Najee being a first round guy, we expected more out of him. But just a version of a player. I don't care if his name's Najee Harris or Joe Smith that the predictability of Jalen, and it's not that you can just predict, like, he's a great player, so it's not like you could just shut him down off of knowing he's going to get the ball, but it would be nice to have someone run up the middle. Only in this offense, we don't need we don't need a bruiser guy if our offense was set up differently. But since we're playing such big boy ball, and DK and Pat and John will probably be better off as blockers right now, honestly, and establish the run. We need to establish the run more, and then obviously that's how you set up the pass with a guy
We
like.
gotta establish.
He's a great play action guy.
We do gotta establish a run, but the thing about establishing a run is it gotta come naturally. It gotta come throughout the game. Like you can't just think you're going to brute force run down someone's throat.
Yeah.
Like you gotta out scheme someone. Like you gotta put your offensive guys in an advantage of when they get the ball in space. It's a one-on-one. You gotta put them in opportunities to be able to make a play like that. You know, I feel like with us, it's all. I feel like our runs are so slow developing for one. There's just no type of creativity. Like we sit down, we snap the ball, we hand it off. Run the sidecar, we hand it off. You know, there's no creativity. Like I'm not saying we got to be Detroit. I'm not saying we got to be Ben Johnson. I'm not saying we. You know, I'm just. Where's the creativity? I remember so many times in the past where we were creative. Like I don't understand how in 2016 are you telling me like that? How is that our peak offense? 8, 9 years later.
I don't know.
2016, like that's
You got
crazy.
what our personnel is entitled. Like you have 3 big dogs. You got Pat, Jonu, and DK. Find out a way to make that your thing, your 3-headed monster.
I think
Get them
the
on
short pass game. That's the easy answer to me.
Yeah.
That's an extension of the run game.
And then you got Darnell too on the short pass. Like them 4, you could just play freaking. I don't know if you guys watch Lord of the Rings, but I know I ain't gonna get into the analogy. Basically, you could pass it to a bunch of elks. Somebody roast me. Big trees, bro. They're huge trees. Just pass it up. Like Aaron Rodgers is great at the middle of the field. Like he just said, bro. DK can get these slants. Don't care if you're lining them as a slot. I know he's not usually at slot. Just get these big guys the ball and use them as the bruisers.
Tempo, like I mean, those are the 2 things I look at from my offense. You got it. Use more the quick pass game. Use that as an extension of the run game. Let DK get comfortable. You know, like let him get it. And he got to start catching the ball. You know, but you know, let him get into the flow of the game. You know, that's what we always did when we had Antonio Brown. I'm not saying he's Antonio Brown, but we made sure Antonio Brown got into the flow of the game early in the ball game. That way,
and also our offense, as much as a critique back then, it had a better flow too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you were saying, but it's honestly he was surrounded by receiver talent that was still good.
No doubt, we was more offensive heavy. Like I feel like, but it suited us more. Did we not look like a contender back then? Like sometimes
it's fun to watch too.
Yeah, the league is like, you know,
which gives
you
me
need a defense that's capable. Don't get it wrong. But a good offense is always going to beat out a good defense. More times than not. Not always the case, but you're going to need your offense to perform when it matters. You know, like we got what we're getting all these turnovers last week, but we're not scoring. You know, we're not that game. We as much as we could have got blown out, we could have blew them out with the mistakes they were making, but we weren't capitalizing on it. You know. We got to get better in those areas. What else, man? Like, yeah, we're O-line.
Like, crickets. I mean, it's better. I see Broderick didn't. I'll give them this. They didn't give up a sack this week, not one. I will say that's a good.
To me,
making the pocket small.
Pressures affect the game, not as much as sacks, but pretty much as much.
We'll see when it's consistent. Yeah. I'd rather a consistent pressure than no pressure and then a 3 sacks.
You know? Yeah. And
that's
any coach. So getting home is what you want to do, but when you could affect the quarterback's mindset or get them off their platform, you know, that's more important. So, and obviously it's no secret that's what you have to do to A-Rod. I mean, is he completely out of it when it comes to extending the play? No, but you can tell like he's not as fast getting out of the pocket. He's not as fast moving up or escaping. He's not as quick reading things that's coming out of him in the pass rush game. So
yeah, O-line's making it harder.
Yeah, and they are making it harder. So Broderick is like he's dead weight to me. Like I'm sorry, like I've seen enough. Like I'm gonna be honest here.
He's
Like,
been playing.
he's been playing better. He's been playing like from an undrafted free agent to a fourth round pick. What's he do? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
we drafted you with our 17th pick in the draft.
Yeah,
And you
going
gotta
back, man.
go look at Sewell from the Lions. That's what a first round tackle looks like. You know what I mean?
That's also our fault. I feel like he played hardly any games his senior year, or his first year. He was like he didn't have that many college games under his belt.
I understand.
And we just drafted him off
I
a pure,
understand.
like,
Listen, yeah, appeared, but for me, it makes me mad because I feel like it's a lazy thing to me because I see the makeup, I see how athletic you are, but why don't you bend more? Like, why are you? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you don't try. Like, I don't know if that's the case or not, but your playing style is too nonchalant for the tackle position. Um, so
that's a good point. He's
you
not
know,
angry enough.
yeah, like
You don't
it's
even
just
want it enough. I
yeah,
guess.
it's
It's not that he's not angry enough.
I don't see the dominant force from our line. You know, I see decent pieces. I see Zach Frazier. I see McCormick, who I seen a couple things McCormick that got to get better with, but for the most part, he's been hard. He's been pretty solid. Um, but man, yeah, our line as a whole, we got to gel better.
Yeah, I mean, fired Pat Meyer too after this year. Is that his name? I think Terrell Austin and Pat Meyer need to go after this year, if not in the regular during the season. A quick spill, like the O line, yes, they need to improve, but we got what we got. At the end of the day, Tomlin, I'm sure you're not watching this, but if you happen to, you're a liar. You're a bullshitter. Because at the end of the day, I'm tired of that. Oh, I'm confident in this receiver room. And, you guys were searching for a receiver for a reason because at this point we're at. The problem is we got a situation where teams are pretty much able to key on DK. And I'm not saying he hasn't had his opportunities, but we're out here playing. We're not creative enough, like D said, and the problem is it loops back to lacking receivers. Yeah, you have Pat. Yeah, you have Johnny, but they're not looking like they could be our second option.
No, I don't even like the way we use like. Honestly, I don't think it matters who we have at receiver because we don't know how to use people.
No, schematically. And the crazy thing is, and I'm not trying to cut you off. My hope is that yes, at one point, remember Big B's, the killer bees. Tomlin, for some reason, after Lev and AB and everyone left, he said, "Oh, I got the offense from here. I'll just make it to where we don't hit the middle of the field, and we win by 1 point every game. I'm cool with scoring. Actually, I'd rather Boswell be our lead scorer. He's the only killer bee that's lasted, and it's sad because
it's a scared mentality. It's a play not to lose mentality, and
he's against risk. Any type of risk.
he gets away with
safe.
Yeah, he gets away with it enough to where, you know, people people definitely question it, but they give him a pass at the end of the day because we've been to the play. I don't care if we're going to the playoffs or making something. What good is that doing us? And keep picking in the.
And what person with these new offensive minds mostly is going to play safe ball on offense?
No one does.
Aaron Rodgers.
Listen.
Well, period. But you have Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and a Pro Bowl tight end. Let's not even Pat. Jonnu, DK. That's enough for these guys at the Lions and these guys. I can name names to get creative enough. I don't care how bad your O line is. You have to find a way to have your offense on the up and up. And yes, Tomlin's comments. Oh, I like where we're at. Aaron's playing how exactly I expected him to, and we're on the up and up. We're getting better each week. That's fine. You're not going to gel instantly, and I'm sure there's going to be a game where I come in here like, woo, yeah, man. Pat had 2 catches for however, like, you got the ball distribution, but right now it's like that could be one game, but the early signs are like our offense doesn't.
We just don't look like a good football team. Like it would be different if the first 3 weeks we came out of here turning the ball over all crazy and no, we're just getting physically outwilled, outmanned, in the trenches. Another thing I want to touch on, like Terrell Austin, like you run the softest zone I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's
in
why
my
the
life.
field's
Like,
open.
When someone catches the ball, like it literally takes 4 seconds for someone to make human contact with that person. I don't understand it. Like I look around the league, every other team when they have a zone, it's tight. As soon as someone catches the ball, they're getting tackled. They're getting taken.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at us, it's just like I see Pat Queen letting them it's 3rd and 12 and Pat Queen lets someone get 11 yards. I mean, attack. What? Like you have someone on the inside of you, so you have every right to attack the receiver. But it's like we're looking around the next person to make the play.
We're waiting for other people.
You can tell that grit is gone when we don't have Deshaun Elliott. Like I mean,
we need a tone setter. Sadly, that's our tone setter, our safety playing all the way back there. You can't have a tone setter in the
Payne Wilson. I think Payne Wilson wants to be a tone setter, and I think he has a lot of room to grow. I think what we could do to help his development is maybe use him in different areas on defense because I think he is a very versatile player. And
blitz him.
Yeah, blitz him, send him off the edge. Let him spy QBs. Like when someone's not all the way there, like a veteran in the linebacker room who knows everything and knows everything what to expect. It's kind of hard to just put that person down. Like you gotta let him be an animal. He's an animal. He's a see ball, get ball type of guy. So
he can be a monster, and not even monster. I mean, like
until you develop more knowledge wise, let him do that because not to
play safety.
And I was thinking about that, and he runs a 4-3. That's not a far fetched at all.
No,
with his own instincts either. He could play safety. You could put him in so much different things. You could send your safety and send him back.
Of course, it'd be packages, I'm sure, because you want a guy that's on safety. But I think we could turn him into a full-on safety.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could use them in so many different ways. Like I look at for my college football guys. If you guys know Harold Perkins, like the way we use him at linebacker 1 year and took him completely out of the game. It was too much for him because we just couldn't let him be him, and then we let him do him back rushing off the edge and he's making plays again. When you got splash type players, you gotta let them be that sometimes. You can't force them into a role that exposes their weaknesses too much. It'd be different if it was here and there, but you could tell he's so eager to make a play where he puts himself out of position sometimes, or he's just physically outmanned by the tackle coming at him or someone leaning through. I mean, we seen him get killed by a fullback, I think it was. And it's not nothing against him. He's a rough, rugged player who wants to get nasty, but there's only so much you could do sometimes when the what was it when the physical forces is just against you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you could be mentally as crazy as you want to be, as wild and as
he's light in the ass. He's a little light in the ass. That's what I'm saying. But no, I still think he's a great player. I think he's only going to get better. But I think we did maybe put too much expectation maybe on him. I don't know if we did or didn't, but Payne Wilson.
I mean, I honestly think with him he was a later round draft because of his ACL, but with him getting a defensive player of the year in college before we drafted him, I think he put it on himself. He played really well, and his rookie year was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was solid, and like Tomlin always says, as much as I could be against Tomlin, I will say a lot of his ideals and his stuff, which is why I think a change of scenery for him and us would be great, is because I still think he's a great coach, but something he always says is that year 2 jump needs to be there. It needs to be it needs to stick out. And we haven't had year 2 jumps from guy. We have a lack of development. I'm honestly seeing a trend, and I'm not saying it's happening yet. Najee just got hurt. GP just freaked out on the sideline, but he did have good stats the game before. But I think you're going to see a trend upward, like Calvin Austin, possibly, where Steelers are going to leave the team and do better on their other team, which we saw it with Kevin Dotson. Right? Was that his name? Yeah. He went over to the Rams.
Yeah.
And it's great. He's doing good. He's one of the better guys. We can't develop. That's the problem. And I hate to be this guy.
It's crazy to say because
we got to clean
house. We used to be so good at developing, but now you could tell we need to clean out. Like even guys like Ben, like Keanu Ben, like it's kind of like he's just there.
That's what we do is play people out of position and expect them to be Superman and just gain, just like Broderick. I mean, you could blame a lot on him. But he's out of position for how long, and now he's coming back.
I agree, but it's just there's just not the same sense of physicality. It's not the same sense of it. Even when our defense was pretty bad when we had the killer bees and all that, I still seen Shazier and it gave me hope because of how good he played that linebacker position. You still had a thumper like Lawrence Timmons. You still, you know what I mean? Like
shaking back.
Even though like Mitchell used to get burnt a lot at safety, he still made
was
some
big.
good play. Like he still made. It's just like things
I
you
don't
would
like
see.
Nick Mitchell, but yeah, he was a big hit guy.
Yeah, don't get it wrong. Like I did like
He
it,
said
but
dumb
in terms
stuff.
of like he still fit that Steeler
Yeah.
mold. You know, like I still
We were still playing shades of Steeler ball for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, our defense was still top 15 in the league for as long as we've been alive, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a little crazy. But nah, from the stats, Ben's whole career, he had a top 15 defense, which is crazy to think about. So we've always been on the up and up. And right now, we're still not up and up. We've been in the upper echelon. And right now, we're probably still up
we're
there.
upper echelon because of the plays,
The paper,
You
too.
know, it's
Yeah, that too.
it's we're opportunistic.
This is not the number one
opportunistic
paid defense.
But dog,
It doesn't look like it.
Like if
This
you
is
look at
crazy.
it, it's night and day. I know Ravens are having their problems on defense, but I feel like it's more due to the competition they're seeing early. But you just look around and you look at the top contenders throughout these couple, even the Chargers, like we're just so far behind those type of teams. And don't get it wrong, I would not be surprised if we went on the road and beat the Chargers. But I also wouldn't put my money on this if we was to play them in the playoffs either.
And I don't even care because we win games that we shouldn't win and we lose games that we
should win.
Shouldn't, or yeah, that we should win. And it's like, what I'm gonna get to right quick with that is like, bro, number one paid defense. Brian Flores, we should have kept and made him DC. Name a Vikings defensive player. While you're reading this or while you're watching this, tell me right off the top of your dome, is Rhodes still there?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not trying to be uninformed, and I know
I
think
think
Kendricks-
Kendricks are linebackers, like, and I think
is Kendricks to do with
I
long
think
hair?
Harrison Smith
He's
is
still there?
over there. Yeah,
Kendricks, I thought he got traded, but he is one of the best linebackers in the league. If we're talking,
I
about
might be wrong. He might not be there, but yeah,
I think he got traded weirdly.
Was it 54?
Yeah, he was nice.
Yeah, I think they got Ivan Pace at linebacker now, but not. They still gotta. It's their scheme.
Their scheme. Who's on their team? You ask the biggest, not even the biggest Steeler hater, because of course they're going to be in our conference. They should know. You ask somebody that loves the NFC and hasn't had to see the Steelers on a playoff. Like, ask a Chiefs fan who the Steelers have on our team. They're going to know all defensive players. They're going to be able to name Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt. Of course, Minka's gone, but they know Jalen's over here. They know. They even probably know Highsmith. Like, these guys have big names, and you're telling me, Terrell Austin, you have one job, and it's one of the easier jobs in the world. Hey, you have the Steelers. Here's your lineup, and this is what you have to do. You have to make them successful. Am I saying I could do it? Hell no. But you're an NFL guy. You got appointed this job. You should be able to make this a good defense because they're the highest paid. They should be a historical defense. They're not.
It just doesn't make sense. And this is how you know it's a scheme. Because Darius Slay is coming off a Super Bowl where he looked good all season.
He contributed.
Now all of a sudden he doesn't look the same, you know.
Which they still have to get into the.
Yeah, don't get it wrong.
But still, it
I
does look
understand
bad.
that. We can only go off of what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Say I'm hoping for change. I'm hoping for a turnaround.
I'm talking about the new guys only, really.
But yeah, I mean, from what I see, it's not promising because the guys that we really need to step up, I haven't seen it from them. So Jalen, he's been playing opportunistic ball. Consistency isn't always there, but that's kind of what I expected from Jalen. So I'm not mad at him, but I do think now I look back at it, we hurt without Minka. I do think at corner, I mean, Deshaun Elliott and Joey Porter are actually probably two of the most crucial people on our defense because of what
we're missing.
JBJ brings in the man-to-man aspect and locking down one side of the field. And letting Jalen Ramsey go back there and roam and play his position. And Deshaun Elliott because of his leadership and the physicality he brings and, you know, everything in one. You know, just his attitude, tenacity that he plays with. You miss that. You see that guys don't want to make tackles. I'm not saying he's going to fix all that when he comes back, but
bring that energy down. He's a tone setter. When you see Deshaun Elliott make a big play, as a linebacker, you look back and you just let up. You know,
Deshaun Elliott is good for
field,
making those type of plays too. You know?
Yeah, and you do feed off of energy. I mean, regardless if these are the pros, they still, you know, there's a reason we got the Browns existing because there is an energy in that building.
I mean,
you got all these pros, you got people good on paper. They suck because there's not energy. We don't have a tone setter right now, and we have a lot of new guys. Like you got Jabril trying to work in. You got
I like what I've seen from him.
Juan Thornhill trying to work in, which people say he's iffy. I don't hate what he's brought to the table. I initially wanted him to be a depth piece.
I expect him. I feel like right now he's just the reason why we're not more impressed with him is because he's playing a bigger role than we.
That's what I wanted him as a depth piece.
Yeah, as a depth piece, I feel like he's solid. Even
very solid.
Jabril Peppers. Just look at the surge though on our D line when the other team's running the ball. Like it's unbelievable. Like the way we get pushed around on a defensive line. Like
my concern at the beginning of the year about the depth of the defensive line, I think
I think what you said was not only correct, but
we disagreed a little bit.
Yeah, we did disagree, but I could walk back that a little bit because I think early we got our depth tested with Derek Harmon being out. I feel like we started off strong in the run game, like the first couple of plays, and then it goes like downhill. And I don't know what that's from.
Guys need to do their job. It looks like to me. I feel like
I don't know
in their job.
That's it. Cause you look like what's going wrong. You have
personnel.
Yeah, the person knows their the scheme's not. But we're gonna get into the Vikings game. I mean, we ran it for a long time. Like this is almost a full episode.
We could do a quick pre if you want, cause there ain't.
Get into it first. Go
ahead. Yeah. Vikings. Honestly, kind of like what we said. I'm not gonna rush this. Like I just said, like it's gonna be too quick. But this is kind of what encapsulates it. Quickly, I think Carson Wentz, we just both talked before we recorded, he's a better fit for the Vikings right now anyway. I mean, you saw last year what Sam Darnold did with them. He's the same guy, almost. In terms of been in the league, he's going to make the right decisions. He's going to allow the team to take him rather than take the team.
There's enough good around him for him to, look better than he has in the past.
I think he'll flourish.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Brian Flores, one of the better guys in the league, a guy that we let go. He is going to make sure that defense is good. I'm not even going to talk about the defense because I'll admit I don't know too many of their guys, but I do know that they're going to do what they need to do. They're going to take advantage of our lack of schematics, and they're going to put a bunch of schematics over it. It's not about beating our personnel. It's about scheming us out. They're going to win that matchup, offense versus defense. And I'm not saying that we aren't going to put up numbers. We could end up having 30 points. But when I say they're going to win that matchup, I more or less mean if it comes down to a shootout, I think we would lose just because of their defense. So I won't say they're definitely win the matchup. I just mean schematically they're going to have the better approach. Yeah, crucial moments. They're going to come out on top if it gets to a thinking game between coach and staff. Defensively, I think it's similar in terms of like the Vikings aren't a bad. They went pretty deep last year. They have some good weapons on offense and defensively. It's the same. Wait, I was just talking about that, right? No, it was the other way around. Schematically, our approach on both sides is lacking, in my opinion. So either way you put it, I think they're similar on both sides of the ball. They're well coached. They're gonna grind it out. They're gonna do the right thing most of the time. But to say what I expect, I don't care about the Vikings. I don't care about L or W. I want to see the middle of the field covered for once. Honestly, both sides of the ball, same thing. Of course, I want the offensive line to play better, blah, blah, blah. I want to see the middle of the field attacked on offense, and I want to see the middle of the field covered on defense. And that's what I want to see. I don't care if the score is by 2 touchdowns. I don't care if it's 28-14. Of course, that's going to make me mad. But if I see Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith getting these inside routes, even Xing, I don't care. I mean, that's a simple Madden play. I just more or less mean, why haven't I seen that happen? Or why haven't I seen a 5-and-out or a 5-and-in? Like something where you see 2 big hosses and you can just get it to them. And then DK on the outside. Give him some, give him some crafty plays. Do something other than just run him. I feel like we're using him as a vertical guy a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's all. Run routes. That's like, is that all we know how to do with receivers that have that prototype? Like, I mean, they say it time and time again. Like, I mean, it was a short stint with who was it we had last year in
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, like, dude, like,
hey,
let these receivers be receivers.
Run this fade, and that's it.
I seen enough mobility, like actual mobility. I didn't even know DK had when it came to lateral quickness with the way he makes people miss.
So
he use him.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing?
I mean, I hate bubbles. But he's the type that you could
Get him the ball.
He's get him off.
The reason why you can do that with DK, where I wouldn't be so mad if you threw a screen at DK, because he's gonna get 3 to 4 yards just off of what he could do with the ball in his
He's
hand.
not Calvin Austin.
So exactly. So it's like you gotta get him the ball. Jonnu Smith, get him the ball. This is someone who looks the part when he's out there. Even Firemove, get him the ball. Like I know I say what I say about Firemove, but get him the ball. You know what I mean?
Red zone efficiency should be crazy. You should have.
Which honestly, I think our red zone efficiency is pretty good.
It's not bad, but it should be like, it should be to the point where it's like, and we should be in awe. And I'm not trying to cut you off, but Jonnu, DK, Pat, Darnell, just double tights or put them in slot. I don't care if you do that. Honestly, even outside of the red zone, if you do that, you could pick up grind yards. Like we could use a short pass rather than a run, like you were talking about. We could do that across the field. If you ran that personnel across the field, you're gonna get. I mean, we've been doing good on some drives, but we can maintain the ball for longer. We just punch it in, keep our defense off the field, keep them fresh. But
I looking in on the beginning of the season, I liked. On paper, I like this matchup against the Vikings, but now I don't like it so much. Like I just feel like it's one of those games. Like I feel like obviously it's winnable for us, but I get weird vibes with it being in London, as exciting as it may be to watch a game. Ireland, as exciting as it might be to watch that game, at 9:30 or whatnot. But
might be
I don't know. It's a weird type of game. I feel like
you hear me?
You said McGregor.
I said it might be a bad morning. Shout out to Young Boy. My bad. Young Boy has a song.
Might be a bad morning Sunday. Get out of the way early, regardless of the result. But they're more complete than what we are, even with their troubles. Like I feel like they still put their players in a position to succeed. Where to us, I think maybe I'm being too overcritical on us, but yeah, I don't see it. Like I see us somehow because of our schedule not being super tough in the beginning, finding a way to maybe get some momentum and win some games.
Got a bye week coming up after.
Yeah, but I don't just like right now. I know it's early. I don't see the maybe winning the game in the playoff or again possibly the AFC Championship. I don't see that for our season right now. I gotta be realistic. Like it hurts to say because that's what I want to see so bad, and it feels pointless all over again. Because
that's honestly it's.
Can you be mad? Can you be mad at us? Can you be mad at any Steeler fan for feeling that way though? Like
it's honestly, yeah, like at least a lot of people would not. Like, bro, this is a rant, like, and I've said it throughout this episode. It's sad that we're sitting here worried about the Vikings. Well, this is the thing. Vikings, for instance, yeah, I'm talking about Carson Wentz is a better system guy. With our defense on paper, it should be a bloodbath for him. But with that minimized, like, when we think of Vikings, when we think the NFC is better this year than the AFC in terms of what I'm seeing early on. You see the Chiefs aren't doing too well. The Bills obviously are good, I think, but regardless, they're going to be good.
Bengals, Joe Burrow.
Bengals, he's not there. That's different. The Ravens look good. But it's lesser in the AFC, but still outside of this matchup because the Vikings are NFC, correct? Yeah. You see these teams in the AFC, and I'm still scared because I know that as much as we went out and got all these big names and all these people that are supposed to make us a new type of Steelers, it's the same old. And I mean, I could repeat myself a million times on this podcast, but it's because it's crazy that we really think, oh, we're the all-in approach. Bro, if you don't change your schematics, you're still butt. And that's what we are. We are looked at by other teams as a laughingstock. Will we win regular season games? Yes, by the Tomlin luck. Like he does crazy stuff. But in terms of a playoff game, like you said, right now we keep playing like this, nada. It'll be another 10-7 at best.
Tomlin comes back next year, whatever the case. I know we need to get rid of Arthur Smith. I've seen enough.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think we need to get rid of. Is that a hot take?
That's a hot take.
That's a hot
only
take.
Because I have said I've been critical of him using his personnel, but he's a better mind that we've had in a long time in terms of like he tries to have an
I
approach.
don't see.
Game plan.
I mean, I see the approach.
I don't like the middle of the
I
field.
see the approach, but I don't see the adjustments in the offense that I need to see. Like I don't see when Plan A is not going right, what does Plan B look like? But that's a great coordinator, someone that always has an answer for everything.
I agree. We need a young.
We don't
mind.
get in. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is he terrible? No. Is he a step up from Matt Canada? Yeah, but he's not what I was looking for. And I said this. Well, the approach that we're looking for, it doesn't make sense. Like Ben Johnson, and I'm not saying he's the greatest coordinator in the world, but he knows even with what he has with the Bears, he's still going to bring the best out of them. They look better. They look better than last season. Even if it doesn't translate to W's, you could see the promise there. I'm not seeing the promise. I'm seeing good individual talent on both sides of the ball. I'm seeing Jalen Warren break runs. I'm seeing, but the schematics of it on both sides of the ball, um, I don't like it. I think we could do so much more with our tight ends. I know it's only 3 games, so I want to emphasize that, but I think we could do so much more with the personnel that we have to make the holes in what we don't have.
And I did agree early. That's why I'm not saying it's a crazy hot take because I have been critical of Arthur, but I'll admit that I'm more willing to watch the O take steps than I am the D because
of
he should already
the money and everything that should be established there, and I agree with that.
Terrell will be the first fire.
I agree with that as well, but yeah, and I agree with that, and I think me and my pops were talking about that too last game. Like, if the first person that needs to go will be Terrell Austin. Like, don't get it wrong. He's underachieving with the talent that he has. But offensively, I still don't see the flow that it's been a year and 3 games. I mean, that's not a lot of time. But man, he wasn't great anywhere he's been. Like, let's be real. Like, the Titans, they did good things. They had a nice play action game, a nice run play action game. But what did the Titans ever win?
Yeah.
Nothing. What did Atlanta ever win? Nothing. Like, it's just like, what are we setting ourselves up for? Like, what are we doing? Like, we had a chance to go get what's it called from
What in the world? Literally was on full battery, but we can wrap it up, I guess. The audio.
That's cool. But yeah, who is it? Who's the coordinator for the Command? Cliff Kingsbury, and everyone was saying, "Oh, it's too much of a college." Da, da, da. Listen, these are the people that are going to be the most mad when things aren't working, but want to say stuff like that. Like, dude, we need someone that's going to modernize.
Yeah, I agree.
Offense.
Honestly,
our offense, I will put our offense in 2017 against any offense in the past 10 years. I promise you, I will.
It's not the highest take. I mean, we had the best wide receiver and the best running back in football as well.
Yeah, but it was just our offense. Though. I understand.
People hated Todd Haley, and he was still cooking.
And I don't know.
At the end of the day, I mean, he had talent, but he was cooking with it.
The only thing I didn't like about Todd Haley is he maybe overran some screens sometimes.
Yeah.
That was still him trying to get his playmakers. That was trying to get his playmakers the ball.
Yeah.
But other than that, he attacked you. He dropped his nuts on you. Like,
yeah.
We need a coordinator that's going to drop their
nuts.
What
he had, he worked with.
Drop your nuts. When it's 4-1, run them, go and get the first down. I just seen someone, man, listen. The Patriots just went for their 15-yard line against us.
We didn't go
disrespectful
that is a couple weeks ago. That's crazy.
I mean, dude, like,
we don't believe in our
like send a message.
We don't
if you don't get it, send a message. Send a message to your team that we believe in you guys. Go make this play. It's 4-1. Get a yard. You got. It's like there's.
Man.
I can't stand the Steelers' approach. It's hard to watch, and it's hard to talk about sometimes.
The league's changing, and we're not. My final statement, honestly, I'm not trying to rush you to be done. I would rather right now a guy that's getting fired over Tomlin. I'd rather us have Mike McDaniels as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers than Mike Tomlin, because at least he's going to try to squiggle out a way to have an offensive approach that dominates. And I don't want it. I mean, shit. If he were to somehow get that job next year or something
Tomlin
like that,
hired the right coordinators.
yeah, make Mike
Like,
McDaniel's the
stop.
offensive coordinator.
Like, I don't care. It's not really Mike Tomlin as a coach. Like, I think he's a respectable coach. I think, you know,
Good motivator,
good
leader.
motivator. I think he's a good coach.
Needs to stop
But
micromanaging.
dude, get different coordinators. I don't know what you be doing with because of the relationships you have with certain people or what. But how is Terrell Austin still here?
Man, he's running this. He's running this like a warehouse. That he's like the cool guy. Like he
Like, take the training rules off. What was the point of getting A-Rod if you wasn't going to attack the middle of the field? Like, what were we doing?
Nah, I don't know.
What are we doing, Mike Tomlin? Like, no, for real.
That's I think you're getting there. But all right, guys. I mean, we had enough rants for you guys. Hopefully, we'll be waking up on a better side of the bed come a week from now, which I won't, honestly. I don't think this regular season is. Yeah, no, I won't. Because this regular season, no matter what we do, I'm going to be very skeptical because at the end of the day, I've had games where I had oohs and ahs when we had Pickett, and you saw how that was played out, which. Man, honestly, there was more excitement on the team when we had Pickett and young guys because at least it was like, ooh, we did good. Like, we expected kind of a downfall because these guys, you know, were new. But right now, we got all these old heads in there. We got guys that have been coaching for how many years? And we're still on the fence about if we could even win a damn conference title. I mean, of course, you got Baltimore, but we're on the fence if we could be second.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow's not even in town. So, all right. That's my end of it, man. Peace.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. All right, y'all.